Hello and welcome to the Tarkus Zone. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm featuring this motorcycle, this Royal Enfield motorcycle on my YouTube channel. This is my second video on the bike. And I put a few miles on it since my last video, and I have found that it rides really well. I mean, it rides beautifully. For what I needed to do, going all over the island, last night it was raining, it was dark, and I went out on it. Because I want to test it. It's new. For me, it's new. It is brand new. But I mean, the type of bike it is kind of new to me because my other bike was heavier. It was definitely heavier. It had the wide tires. This bike has the skinnier tires, very light. I was like, how's this thing going to handle in the rain? How is it going to handle on blind spots, in the rain, on corners? It handled great. I had no concerns. I had no issues with it last night. I mean, it rained and it rained and it rained, and my time in the rain was about an hour. So I took this thing out for an hour and went through the back roads of Grand Isle, some of the windiest roads on the island, and really put this thing to the lean test. I'm not going crazy nuts for speed. I was going the speed limit, but I didn't feel like I had to throttle down, or I didn't feel nervous in the curves, even with the rain covering the road. And the headlights seem to give me enough distance. It's definitely designed so that you don't outdrive the lights, because even on the high beams, you've only got so much distance. So it kind of keeps you honest. Because, you don't want to override your lights. I mean, if you've done any motorcycle riding at night, that's a bad thing if you're going faster than what you can see. And, most of those guys that are doing that are kind of crossing their fingers and hoping for the best, right? And I don't like overriding my lights. I think where the high beams are in the rain with this thing was perfect, to keep me honest, keep me for not doing something stupid. I think they've designed that well. I mean, not a lot of people ride at night. I do. I prefer riding at night. That's my thing. Now, I did in my other video talk about the length of this. I've gotten used to it now. I mean, this is standard. I should have said this before. There's nothing gimpy here that's going on with the distance with this rod. I mentioned in my other video, there's no gimpiness here. This is a standard setup. I mean, for these type of bikes, or when you see this, it's just that my big foot, just wanted a little bit more comfortability with this maybe being longer. But I've now, because I've ridden the bike so much last night in the rain, when it was coming down and it was windy and I was doing my thing, I just got used to it. So now it's just second nature. I mean, I'm flying through the gears without any problems. So it was just me, like I was saying, a learn response. When I mentioned that yesterday in my video, it's about the learn responses. What I've learned in the past, I got to kind of unlearn in my head. As you can see, the bike's new, brand new. I haven't even got the real plates yet. It's still the paper plates. I've only owned it probably now about 24 hours. Actually, let's see how many miles. Let me turn this on. See if I can get the display to come up. So about 50, I got 50 miles, 49.7 miles on it. And again, after I got it last night, it just rained all night. So I put 50 miles on it last night, and it did very well. It actually felt more, in my head, it feels like more than 50 miles because of the type of driving it was. But, you kind of lose, that kind of scope of how long you've gone and how many miles you've done, unless you actually look at the odometer that tells you that. So overall, folks, I'm happy with it. It's doing very well for me. And I like that it's got the slick 350 in it. It's not overbearing. It's riding really nice. And not to say anything bad about the bike, it kind of rides a lot like my e-bike. The lightness, the handability, how it handles on the road. Just being able to just move it around. Like I could pick up the front end, I can pick up the back end of this bike without any problem. I could grab the back end of this bike right now and move it over there and put the front end over there. I mean, that's how light this bike is. And I like it. I mean, I really like it. So I'll guys keep you all posted as I put more miles on it. Well, thank you for joining me. And this has been the Tarkus Zone.